Hello everyone, this video will be about connecting the shaft for the skid disc to this adapter, and then eventually also connecting the skid disc to everything. This whole shaft assembly is designed to slide into the mowing shaft. There is a bearing where it moves against the mowing shaft, but that bearing is located at the end of the mowing shaft, and there's no bearing on this assembly as such. So I've already replaced the main bearings of the drum, but this bearing just for the skid disc shaft I've not replaced, and that's because this shouldn't be spinning at such a high speed as this one. Also, if it turns out to be necessary later on, this can be replaced just by removing this assembly. You don't have to remove the entire drum from the mower. So here I've got the shaft and the cone for the skid disc. For the cone I had to do some pretty serious cleanup work. The shaft was in pretty good shape, I guess because not a lot of moisture and dirt gets to it in operation. So luckily none of the bolts that hold this together or the threads were damaged in the removal, but just to be sure I'm adding some copper grease when I'm putting them back. Now with both shafts reassembled, I'm getting ready to reattach them to the mower. I guess if you have the mower upside down or on its side, it's also just doable to shove them into the mowing shafts, but since I've got them on the car lift anyway, I decided to lower the mower over the shafts. So here you can see that the rear shaft is all the way through. The reason it's sticking out so far is that this model has mowing height adjustments. At this point, both support shafts are in the mower, and the mower is not being supported by the lift anymore. So at this point it's completely resting on the skid disc cones. So now we can turn the mowing part by hand because it's completely separate from the supporting part that's on the ground. To check that everything's in the correct position, I'm putting the cover on the mower. Obviously, before permanently closing it, it still needs grease and a gasket. This is just to confirm the correct positioning of the shafts. The part I'm fitting now is the brake. So it fits over the shaft and in the cover. The brake's function is to slow down the spinning of the discs after you lift it off the ground using the tractor's 3-point hitch. So even though these brakes are supposed to be submerged for the most part in grease, they still have some surface rust on them. So I decided to give them a bit of a clean for assembling them. So if we look at the drawing, this part of the brake, this brake shoe, should be separate from the brake foot. So I'll be trying to separate that. When the gentle taps don't work, you need a bigger hammer. So with a bit of kinetic persuasion, I got the two separated and they all seem okay. We can reuse all these parts. This dome for the height adjustment is meant to go over the brake. And with the help of a few other parts, we'll hold the shaft of the skid disc in place at the correct height. We'll go over this as well with the wire wheel to remove any of the old gasket pieces and to just smooth out the surface. And that's it for this video. More next time, and thanks for watching.